2, 1. Okay, we are actually officially live. Sorry guys, we had some technical difficulties, but we are back. Yay, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I am your host, BlackShot56. This is Snodacast episode 13. I am joined by Joe, aka Joker.
I know. You guys hate me, but
Not necessarily, but
me.
Sure, let's go with that one. And of course, a long time return. We have the one and only Red King, aka Jared.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Of course, I gotta ask the age-old question. Give me 1 second. How was everybody's week? We're gonna go ahead and start with Jared, and then we're gonna go to Joe, and then me, obviously.
Shoot, my week. Been preparing for an exam that was just yesterday. Actually, I won't get the results till tomorrow, so I'm just like praying, hoping. Please let me get a good score. Just So.
Okay, that's good. Hopefully, you do get a good score.
Shoot, dude, I'm hoping, really hoping.
Yeah.
I always want a good credit score. Oh, not that kind of score.
Shut up, Joe. All right, Joe. How was your week, buddy?
I don't know. Been kind of this, that. I never get enough sleep, and gaming and this is like pretty much my only source of therapy.
Fair enough. All right. Well, my week has been mostly just school and work. Heads up for our viewers, we are going to be streaming for the next 2 weeks. We are going to be streaming on Sundays instead of Saturdays because I will be out of town, and those are the only days that I can get enough time to do everything. Otherwise, we would be doing it way earlier in the day, and I don't want to do that to anybody. So, just keep that as a heads up, obviously. But yeah, I'll be in Cleburne for the next 2 weeks. Your boy finally got a hearing aid, so I'm no longer having to ask, every 5 minutes. But that's just the big thing. Of course, it is going to take a little bit of getting used to. But, that's just kind of how it is. We might have a couple more people show up a little later. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and go directly into Now Showing. And for this week on Now Showing, we have, obviously, the lovely animation done by me that I need to fix. We have The Lost City and the Halo series on Paramount Plus. And The Lost City is in theaters. Any thoughts, comments, concerns on this? I personally, I've been hearing decent things about Lost City. Is that it's pretty decent. So I genuinely do not know. Do you guys have any thoughts, comments, concerns on it?
Honestly, don't know. But then again, I sent for Sandra Bullock for the right reason, so maybe I'm excited for it.
Shoot, wait, she's still doing movies right now?
Yeah, not as many, obviously, but definitely a few.
Shoot, well, honestly, I'm going into this blind. I don't know much about this movie, but I bet you it's about a lost city.
Yes, from the trailers, I'm mostly getting a lot of Romancing the Stone vibes, just because it's an author going into the. But they do enough a decent twist from what I've been told to make it more of its own thing. So I will give it that. Okay. Yeah. Now, of course, the one that everybody's been nervous about, I have not seen anything for, is the Halo series on Paramount Plus, and yeah. It looks okay. What do you guys think?
Truth, I don't have Paramount.
I'm not
Paramount
very optimistic about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Paramount hasn't exactly had the best of exclusives as of yet that weren't already shows.
They never looked at the show, the games before doing the show, so
Really,
Wait,
how do you do a Halo show without looking at the games before doing a show? That makes no sense.
I have no fucking idea. That's one of the showrunners said that, and I'm like, yeah, this
Yeah.
show is like fucking dead in the water.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's
man.
that's kind of a red flag right there. If you don't play, like, look through the games at least, just a little bit.
Yeah, or at least play a little bit, you know. That's always the biggest thing. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I think personally it's just a lot of different factors are going into this, and that is the ultimate problem. Is I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to say the least. We'll have to see, but I don't even know if they're releasing it weekly. If they are, I'll probably. We're not necessarily going to have it be its own. Oh well, I have access to Paramount Plus. I have to, you know, find the right times to watch it. And the ultimate problem becomes is I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks without said access to Paramount Plus. So that's going to be the sucky part. And also, I just don't know, man. I have no idea exactly what we're going to be doing with it or how it's going to go. And honestly, that was the whole reason why I was interested in Paramount Plus was the show. But if it's not, I mean, if one of the showrunners said, "Yeah, I have no idea what the Halo games are," then that's a pretty sketchy deal right there.
Dead on arrival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Very Dead on Arrival-esque. But yeah, you know, I don't know. If you guys are ready,
Hey.
we're gonna go ahead and go into, unless you have any more thoughts, comments, concerns on the Lost City, or, of course, the Halo series.
Not on either of those, but I gotta ask this: the show, like the new show that's been coming out, 1883 with what's his name?
No, it's done.
Sam.
It's a prequel to
What?
the Yellowstone show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Wait,
then they're
but
coming
is it
out
on-
with
is it
another
on
prequel. It's also on Paramount Plus. Yes, it is a Paramount Plus
Okay.
exclusive. And then of course I think they're coming out with another one. They're coming out with another prequel show because I think they're going to do one more season of Yellowstone and they're done.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to do one more season of Yellowstone, then they're going to do another prequel show. I think it's going to be called like 1883, or not 1883, but like 1920 something. I think is what they're going to do. But if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and go into our first topic for the night. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Our first topic for the night is, if I can press the right button, the deleted scene with Barry Keoghan's Joker from The Batman has been released online. It is a 5-minute scene that was cut from the movie, and I can kind of see why. It's not that it's a bad scene, it's a fantastic scene. I love the scene. I actually really look forward to seeing Barry Keoghan's Joker. However, it is very Hannibal Lecter-esque. It is basically Batman coming to him saying, "Hey, there's this serial killer. We want to tell me what you think about it, you know, kind of help me out a little bit." And he, you know, it's an excuse for this Joker to say, "Oh, hey, it's almost our anniversary," that kind of thing. And he just kind of teases him a little bit. He kind of eventually flips it onto Batman. And to be fair, I think it kind of hammers on the head of what the later twist is, that the Riddler was inspired by the Batman. They're very close together, all that kind of stuff. Like it looks like that kind of thing. And I can kind of see where people would also, where I can see where people wouldn't like it. Also, a lot of people are like, we're sick and tired of the Joker. Even though the director has stated he doesn't want this villain to be, you know, the next. He doesn't want another Joker to be the next villain. He wants to do more of the Rogues Gallery. He wants to do a grounded Mr. Freeze. He wants to do Poison Ivy. He wants to do a lot of different characters from Batman's Rogues Gallery. And to be fair, I think that is nice, because honestly, I would love it if the Arkham show is a stepping off point to essentially becoming a Joker show. That way you can keep it in this universe and essentially still have that Joker, but just have him kind of as a background character that may pop up here and there. And like maybe for the third or fourth movie, do something like a live action Arkham Asylum, like the game, like the Batman Arkham Asylum game. I would love that, you know, build up the Rogues Gallery, then essentially do a live action Arkham Asylum game. That could be a lot of fun, actually. You know, I think that I think it's good that they cut it, just because it is there's already so many homages to Seven, to Zodiac, to a lot of different movies, and not that those are bad. I mean, it still gives it this very unique style, but it is also, it's like, I think with that one, it would have been one too many references to like or homages that some people would start calling it a ripoff, and I somewhat agreed on that. I do think it would have been somewhat of a ripoff because it is very Hannibal Lecter-esque. You know, our main character comes to a person that's in a mental asylum for help with a serial killer. You know, like it's very Hannibal Lecter-esque. Also, that character is, you know, manipulating and gaslighting our main character, you know, that kind of thing. Like it is very Hannibal Lecter-esque. So I do agree. I think it was probably cut for a good reason, also because the runtime. I genuinely think that the runtime should have been shaved off by about 20 minutes, and adding this in would have probably helped cut a few more things here and there. But would I preferred this over the half-assed attempt that we got at the end? Yes and no. I think it would have shown too much of the Joker, and that would have been the problem. I think that it's good world building, but I also think that a lot of normal people are going to be like, oh my god, they're doing another Joker. What the hell? You know, I think that's what they would do. I think that's where a lot of people would draw the line, and to an extent I agree. Also, it does show some very definitive like looks at him. You don't really get a good look at him except for his eyes and his teeth towards the end, but that's about it. Beyond that, no. Now, that being said, what do I think of Barry Keoghan's performance? Pretty damn good. I mean, he gave a very unique laugh. He has definitely a very unique look for this Joker, and I'm super interested to see where it goes, because it does kind of look like he really does look like he fell into a vat of acid. Though, granted, the director, Scott Derrickson, has said that he didn't necessarily want it to be. And, you know, I kind of... Is it Scott Derrickson? I want to say it's Scott Derrickson. I don't know. Give me a second. So, you know, he did say that he wanted it to be more along the lines of like, this guy had a disease that constantly makes him smile, and that would have gotten him into trouble. And then he would have just seen it as like, oh, I get it. A joke was played on me, so here's my nihilistic attempt to redo everything. But I'm gonna leave it to you guys. What do you guys? Have you guys seen the scene? Have you heard about it? What do you think? Personally.
More Joker for me. Honestly.
I apologize. It is Matt Reeves that has directed this movie. My bad.
I mean, it's like another Joker thing.
Well, to an extent, I understand from a non-comic book standpoint. I understand where people are coming from. I get it to an extent. But now, do I think that this would have been nice? Yes. However, I also understand that it would have been too much homaging, and it almost comes across as a knockoff. But Jared, you were going to say something?
Well, I haven't seen the scene altogether, but what you said, like that the scene was a little bit Hannibal Lecter-esque, it kind of makes me wonder the relationship between Batman and the Riddler then, because I know the Riddler.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know the Riddler, you know, he likes to play games. He likes to try to antagonize Batman in it's like some way to like prove himself smarter than Batman, prove himself more capable, more intelligent, more strategic, you know.
This is true, and they do give him that vibe. However, he's also very clearly disturbed. So to give some slight spoilers, the Riddler does end up meeting this version of the Joker, like kind of across the cell. And I will say this scene does also show that this Joker is very smart. He looks at the report for about maybe 10 seconds, and then he already starts smiling and he says, well, you know, this guy is not doing it amateurly. I mean, it looks almost as if he planned it out his whole life. And the Batman even asks, he's like, hey, do you think it's political? And he goes, no, this is definitely personal. And that's where I was like, okay, so this is definitely a smart Joker. It's not just, I mean, he's clearly insane, but he's also very smart. And this is the reason why he brings up the anniversary, is because this is also, the Batman takes place in year 2 of this Batman. So this is a year 2 Batman, meaning he's already met his Joker within year 1, which makes a lot of sense in some ways, because Joker's usually within his first 2 to 3 years introduced as his main villain. But I'm with Matt Reeves. I would love to see more of the Rogues Gallery. I would love to see Dave Bautista maybe pick up the role as Bane. I would love to see Bane in this universe. It would be interesting to see him.
That would be awesome.
I would love it. Yeah, Dave Bautista could do a really good job as Bane too. And then also, I think there's plenty of actors like Giancarlo Esposito. I think he would do a really good job as Mr. Freeze. There's plenty of other people. Bryan Cranston would be really good too. Though granted, I do think Bryan Cranston would have been a better Jim Gordon. Not to say that Jeffrey Wright did a bad job. He did a really good job. I was actually very surprised with Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon. However, I still think like Jeffrey Wright would have been a really good Lucius Fox instead of necessarily a Jim Gordon. But to be fair, I think that this is definitely a good start in this universe. I want to see more from it. I want to see sequels. I want to see these shows because we're also getting a Penguin show with Colin Farrell returning, and it is going to be TVMA. It's going to be I think they said it's going to be very Sopranos-esque, kind of like it's his rise to power because Penguin. The end of the movie, there is a power vacuum with a particular gangster that is killed. I'm not gonna say who it is, but Penguin. It looks like Penguin is going to be taking that power in a flooded Gotham. Basically, is what we're doing, and the show picks up right where he's left off from the movie. So I'm very interested to see where that goes. I would love to see more of this. I want to see more of this universe, and I'm definitely down for an Arkham show because originally it was going to be a GCPD prequel show. Nothing against that. I would have actually been very interested in it. However, when Matt Reeves said, no, it's kind of evolved into an Arkham series, I'm like, an Arkham Asylum show in this universe with a horror vibe would be 100% fantastic. You would get so much critical praise if you do it right. So I think that Warner Brothers has a gold mine on their hands. Do I think that it is necessarily needing 15 different spinoffs and 500 movies? No, I don't think that. I think this could definitely be a good trilogy, maybe a quadrilogy, or maybe a 5 or 6 film series. I think that could work because we could do early stage Batman to maybe eventually getting a Robin in the 4th or 5th movie to doing like the final stages of Batman kind of thing. I think it could do something along those lines, and you could still keep these actors in these roles. I think it could really work. I could see this going beyond a trilogy. Do I think Matt Reeves wants to do anything beyond that, minus a few spinoffs? No, probably not. But I'm very interested in this because I love this version of Gotham. This is definitely not just Chicago like it was in the Dark Knight trilogy. And it's almost like a combination of that, and then you get some of that creativity from the Tim Burton Batman movies, that kind of Gotham. Not like a lot of Gothic architecture, except for a few places, obviously, but definitely this gives you like a neon noir, as I say, because it's got like this dirty neon to it. It's constantly raining. Think of Seven meets you remember that movie Mute on Netflix? Like how it had a lot of neon lights. Okay, so basically think Seven, the Reign of Seven meets Blade Runner. It's that kind of style. That kind of dirty future kind of thing. It doesn't take place in the future, but it has a dirty noir kind of film to it. But it has the neon lights and everything. So I love this version of Gotham. I want to see more of this version of Gotham. And I genuinely think that this whole entire franchise can go way further than a trilogy and a few spinoffs. But any more thoughts, comments, concerns on this Joker deleted scene?
Give me the Joker.
All right. Jared?
Not so much on the Joker per se, because Joker's an iconic Batman villain. Like, he's going to show up eventually at some point, either way. My focus right now, because I can't quite remember like who were all the members of the Rogues Gallery.
There's way too many to go through. A good example would be ones that I would say haven't gotten either a proper screen treatment or a screen treatment at all. Mr. Freeze hasn't gotten a proper treatment on the big screen at all since
90s.
Since
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold, since Schwarzenegger, what killed
Yeah,
the
that was a
dinosaurs,
bust.
the Ice Age, Yeah, he hasn't gotten a decent. And same thing with Bane. I mean, Tom Hardy did a good job, but that was a very realistic Bane. I'm talking like almost semi-comic
Venom.
accurate. Yeah, with Venom and everything else like that.
No,
So
Venom.
also a Mexican Bane as well. So there's that. We haven't gotten that. I would love to see another attempt at Poison Ivy. I genuinely think that there's quite a few actresses that could play it. I genuinely think Emilia Clarke would be a good choice for Poison Ivy. I think she's young enough that she could pull it off. But honestly, Kristen Stewart would be a good Poison Ivy, maybe Killer Frost. I think that
I
could
can see
work.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Superman villain.
Yes, but I know that she also crosses over with Batman a couple times too.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So there is that. And then of course you also have, I would love to see Professor Pig. That could be a lot of fun. The Mad Hatter.
kind
That
of
would be a
side
lot
one,
of.
but yeah.
He is, but Mad Hatter would be a lot of fun. I would love to see Calendar Man, though granted, maybe not like as a full-blown villain. I would say maybe as a cameo, just someone in Arkham Asylum. Because Calendar Man, now Victor Zsasz, that could be a lot of fun. I would love to see a Victor Zsasz, not necessarily a movie, but definitely have him
It'd
like
pretty dark, but
It would be,
Yeah.
but this is a dark universe. I mean, like this movie really pushed PG-13. I think this is the first Batman movie to use the F word, and it uses it within the first 30 minutes. Like, damn, it uses its one F bomb in the first 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, we're in this kind of shit, and they don't ever really show what the Riddler does, at least in graphic detail, but they make you feel like they do. It gives me that vibe. It's like there was points where I was like, oh god, I was like, damn, that's pretty fucked up. So there was definitely vibes in that, but like Killer Frost could be a lot of fun. I would love to see Mad Hatter. I would love to see Professor Pig. I would love to see Scarface. Scarface could be a lot of fun.
Brutalist, yeah.
Yeah. I
Wesker.
also think that honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I think you could do a really good job with Two-Face again. I think in this universe, Two-Face could be a lot of fun. I think you should go with the acid route. I really do. I think instead of the burn victim this time, definitely go with the acid route. Just because I think that you could do a lot. You could have a lot of fun with that. I'm not saying go for the blue skin or anything like that. I'm not saying do that, but that would be awesome.
Leslie Jones shit.
Yeah, but no, I get it aesthetically.
Yeah. I can see like them being able to do a lot with like the other half of whoever's face that they choose.
Yeah, and I think honestly, now here's the thing. I do think Barry Keoghan would have probably been a good Harvey Dent. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good Joker. If you're struggling to find a face with Barry Keoghan, what's his name from Eternals that could control people's minds?
Okay.
Yeah, that guy. Now I will say this: if there's anybody else that I would like to see play Harvey Dent, not gonna lie, I genuinely think not necessarily Tom Holland. Tom Holland's still too young, in my opinion.
He's still a little too young. There.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch would be an interesting choice, but I don't know. I think that's a little too out there. Not that he would do a bad job. I think he could, but I think personally, who am I thinking? Chris Evans would be a really good Two-Face.
Yes,
I would love Chris Evans to play Harvey Dent Two-Face. That would be a lot of fun. There's a lot of different characters I could see Chris Evans. Like Chris Evans coming into the DC universe. I personally think he would be a really good Two-Face. He's just at that age where he's semi older, but he's not too much older that he couldn't play a little younger. But if I have to go for younger, around Pattinson's age, I would say, blanking on his name, actually, okay, really weird choice. Anthony Mackie would be pretty good. Falcon?
I am blanking on his face right now.
Falcon.
Oh, Falcon. Oh.
Hmm?
AKA on your left, on your right.
Exactly. All right. Well, anyways,
On your left.
we've kind of dwelled on this topic for a little too long. Let's go ahead and go into our next topic, and I know Joe's gonna be a little excited. CD Projekt Red has officially announced that they are creating another Witcher game. At least they're not making another Cyberpunk. That's all I can say. I know that the Witcher games is like their bread and butter when it comes to their foothold in the video game world for sure. And I think that they should probably go back to their roots. I do think a Witcher game is probably the smartest choice. Not that, here's the thing. I have been told Cyberpunk is actually pretty playable now with enough patches. However, they have tarnished their reputation with that game. I think if CD Projekt Red is ever listening, which I doubt, but even still if they are, here's what I would recommend. I know there are going to be people that are going to be sending you death threats and shit to release this fucking game. I get it. I understand. Do not release it until it is ready. Do not do what you did with Cyberpunk. Don't buckle down to the fans. Because if you have to wait, here's the thing. If you have to delay it from a few months to a year, yeah, fans are going to be pissed, but they're not going to be as pissed as if you released an unfinished game. So take the pressure, fix it, finish it before you release it. And if there's a few glitches here and there, that's common. You can patch that. It's fine. Finish it before you release it. Joe, you're going to take over from here.
Well, you don't know much except that this is supposed to be The Witcher 4, but it's not going to be like a part of a new trilogy or anything yet.
Okay.
And it showed that there might be a new school called the School of the Lynx.
Okay.
Don't know who started that. Well, because, admittedly, I only know as much of that from watching the show and watching a bit of the games.
Right.
Witcher 3. There's no telling, like, that some people are saying we might be Ciri or we might be Vesemir, and I just don't know, like, whether or not be messing around as Geralt or somebody else.
I don't see Geralt opening up a school. I really don't.
Ciri probably, if she...
Ciri, yes. I would say with as old as she is in the games, by Witcher 3, I would say yes, I can see Ciri opening up a school.
The next generation.
Next generation. Jared, you got any thoughts, comments on this?
I was gonna also say, like, interestingly, she, unlike the other Witchers, like, she didn't go through the mutations or anything, just like everyone else.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
I don't have a great amount of, like, comments on this topic, because the only thing as far as The Witcher that I've, like, seen or, like, gone through has just been the series. But I don't know. It will be interesting to see how they move forward with this, because a lot of games today, except for maybe like a short few names, they have been flopping in the industry for very good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Wars.
Yeah.
Shoot. But hopefully, you know what, they learn from the Cyberpunk and whatever else, and hopefully, you know, with this classic game, they put out something good.
I agree. All right, you guys ready to go into our next topic?
Why not?
All right. Netflix has officially announced that they are doing a Tekken prequel anime, and yeah, I think Netflix is literally grasping at straws at this moment because they're losing subscribers left and right. And I don't necessarily blame them, especially with after they lost their Marvel Netflix shows. That was kind of keeping them afloat, with Daredevil at least.
They canceled it.
No, well, they did cancel it, yes, because they had to. The Marvel contract was up, and they were like, oh, we can't create another season within 3 months, so we're done. That being said, I think when it comes to original content, minus maybe Arcane, which they are taking their time on, and I appreciate. I would love to see Arcane season 2, but I'm willing to wait. Arcane season 1 is still good. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. The only other good show, well, they ended Castlevania. I know that they wanted to do a spin-off, and honestly, I was kind of against it. I'm like, don't, just leave it. It's a good solid 4 seasons. I would say leave it at that. And from there, I would also say the only other good thing that they had, aside from the Marvel shows, like I said, I've already said Castlevania. I've already said Arcane. I haven't seen Squid Game. I know everybody praises it, but they've waited too long on season 2. They've waited too long on season 2. Nobody's talking about Squid Game anymore. It's done. I think at this point, they just take too long. And I get it. You gotta wait on South Korea and everything else like that. I get it. But like the biggest thing is, I think at this point, Netflix is grasping at straws. I know they have the Cuphead show, which was getting mixed reviews at best, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed it. It was okay. I think I would much rather enjoy the game than I do the show, because the show's a little too cutesy. It's a little too kidsy. And I think it should have been at least TV-14. It should have had more of an edge to it, just because I know that it's mostly going to be teenagers and adults that have played Cuphead, not little kids. I mean, this is a TVY7 show. I mean, I get it. It's an old cartoon, but you can do cartoons for adults. It's not hard to do. F is for Family, which they've wrapped up. That was another really good show. If you guys haven't seen that, highly recommend it, especially if you're a Bill Burr fan. Yeah,
he's funny.
Yeah. And he based it off his dad, by the way.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it's based off of his childhood. I mean, it's like grossly exaggerated, but to an extent.
Was he the older brother or the youngest son?
He's the youngest son. The youngest son is named Bill. They just changed the last name.
Oh.
But he plays his dad, essentially. Frank Murphy. He plays Frank Murphy. He plays a couple other characters. There's a very effeminate priest that he plays, which is funny. I love that because I didn't notice it was him until the 5th season, because that character has he has a freaking crisis of faith, and he snaps and his voice goes lower, and I'm like, that's Bill Burr. So anyways,
I know who plays Rosie, but
I'll put it on my list then.
Oh, Rosie's actor has died. That's why I don't think we're gonna get another season. And they ended it okay. I think genuinely that they ended F is for Family really, really well. But back to the Tekken series, it's not that I don't think it could work. I think it can. I don't think they're gonna. I think Netflix is probably gonna shut down within the next couple of years, because they just can't keep their subscriber basing, and they push out so much shit. And I do mean shit. Like, we have a sequel. We have 2 sequels to Kissing Booth, which was a terrible movie, by the way, but it got reviewed and memed on. We have a sequel to Tall Girl. I repeat, a sequel to Tall Girl. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, and then we have so much original Netflix content that it's just shit, man. Like, yeah, they have the occasional gem every now and then, but honestly, like 90% of it's just shit, man. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. There's the occasional, shining turd, but no. Most of their shit is hate watched. I will say that. Most of their shit is hate watched. But I think this could work. But this concludes my Netflix rant. Anybody wish to talk about the Tekken anime?
Personally,
go ahead, Jerry.
Personally, I like the story of Tekken, at least what was given in games up till now.
Mm-hmm.
If this does wind up becoming a shining turd in any respect, I would be interested to see, how it actually follows through.
Oh, I'm with you there. I also would be interested to see how they follow through with it. As a person who's never really been interested in Tekken. I've seen people play it. I know that they have like 7 or 8 games, and I know Tekken 7 was like the number 1 game for a while. Like, it's still a PlayStation. It's like one of their, like, they have the red tinted box kind of things. It's like that kind of. It's like PlayStation, whatever it is. I forget what they call it, Legacy or whatever it is. I forget what they call it, but yeah, it's, you know, it's like up there with The Last of Us, Uncharted 4, you know, like the PS4 exclusive. It's like their top exclusives kind of thing. But yeah, you know, I think it could work. Tekken is one of those fighting games. I think honestly any fighting game could lend itself to an anime, especially Tekken, which I know is like heavily inspired by a lot of Japanese anime and everything else like that. I think it could work. I think as an anime it should work. It's kind of like Super Smash Bros. I could see it working as a animated series if they wanted to make it into something like that. That could work. And then Mortal Kombat works okay in live action just because it's gory enough. However, you do have to take it with a grain of salt, obviously, with how realistic it is. The only other one I would say, Street Fighter, I don't know, man. I think Street Fighter could work as a series. I don't see it working as a movie, just because, I don't know. Mortal Kombat lends itself to movies because it's very cinematic. Street Fighter never really was. Not to say that it can't be, but like, it usually isn't. And then Tekken is just very anime-esque, from what I've been told. Those are like the 3 distinct fighting games. Those are the top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
Smash.
So, well, and Smash, but Smash is relatively recent. Smash didn't come around till the 90s. So, you know, that's the biggest thing.
Smash also plays like very differently from those games.
Oh,
also.
it does. Yeah, you can't just button mash and Smash. You can button mash in Tekken, you can button mash in Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Do at least halfway decent. You button mash and Smash, you're gonna get killed instantaneously. Trust me.
You'll have someone make fun of your mama.
I know from personal experience because I am a button masher when it comes to fighting games. That being said, fuck off. I learn a few moves and then I repeat them. My favorite thing is the uppercut. That's what I love to use. Not that I use it always, but like I prefer the uppercut. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, on to our next topic. We have our first look at Nicolas Cage as Dracula in the Rinfield movie. Congratulations to Mr. Cage for finally becoming debt-free. You know, congratulations to the boy. He finally did it. He only had to make 100 movies.
Wait, finally he's debt-free?
Yeah, he's finally debt-free. He's finally out of debt. So that's good news. And now he's finally able to finally able to chill out on movies. And I think I want my Willy's Wonderland sequel. I want that to happen. Please make that happen, Mr. Cage. I beg of you. And of course, I also want this movie because Nicolas Cage is Dracula. If you think about it, he's come full circle from Vampire's Kiss. And I want to see that. I also want to know what type of accent is he going to do. Is he just going to talk in his regular Nicolas Cage voice? Or is he going to at least try to do a Dracula accent, but still sound like Nicolas Cage? And then the ultimate question. There's 2. What is it going to be rated? And are we going to get a Nick Cage freak out?
Oh!
Yeah, exactly. If it's rated R, I want a Nicolas Cage freak out because this is being reported as a romantic comedy because the whole point is Renfield falls in love. He's playing a side character. It's not a Nick Cage movie. It's really a Nicholas Hoult movie with Nick Cage in it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it looks funny. He looks like he's gonna have a ball with this. I can see him. Would I preferred maybe more of a Nosferatu look? Yeah, probably. But honestly, this doesn't look half bad. What do you guys think?
If his hair could become a bird once again, I'd be happy. As long as he doesn't do another face-off movie.
Actually, they said that they're going to be doing a semi-reboot kind of thing, and they have not confirmed whether Cage or Travolta are coming back. Which, granted, they couldn't bring back Cage, even if they wanted to, because Cage's character dies in Face Off. He's the only one that dies, like, out of the main 2. So there's really no way they could bring him back, even if they wanted to. But I think they said that they were going to do something like... I think it was going to be John Boyega and I think it was going to be John Boyega and Michael B. Jordan. I think is what they said they were. I forgot the actors that they were going to do with it. But no, I'm super pumped for this movie. I think that it's gonna be pretty good. At least if it's gonna be bad, it'll be at least halfway decent, right?
The acting from like Face Off was bad.
Well, Face Off is a John Woo movie, dude. Like 90% of John Woo's movies are just excuses to get cool action scenes. That's it.
I just remember there was a scene where Nick Cage's character was like in a church and he just like broke the ass.
No, he's not in a church. He's actually in a event center, and there happens to so be a choir that is performing Hallelujah. Yeah, it is actually how the movie opens, believe it or not. It is literally he's singing Hallelujah, and then he ends up grabbing a girl's ass, and he does the he does that face like it's.
I was watching it with somebody a while back, and they're like, "Yeah, this looks stupid."
No, Face Off is it's a fun ride, man. It is a very fun ride. It is, because you also, here's the thing. So here's how cheesy it gets. You get Nicolas Cage pretending to be John Travolta, pretending to be Nicolas Cage. And then you get John Travolta pretending to be Nicolas Cage, pretending to be John Travolta.
Big old mind
in
fuck.
the 90s. In the 90s. That's how much ham we're dealing with in a Face-Off movie. Come on. Like, if that doesn't get you at least giggling and semi-hard at the same time, you are not a true 90s fan. I'm sorry.
It's a lot to get me very hard these days, but we're not here to talk about it.
Joe, take some rhino horn pills. We'll be okay. Anyways. All right. What do you guys think about this first look? I genuinely like it. I kind of giggled at it.
Haven't seen anything about it. Honestly, didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that surprises me that I thought Nicolas Cage was still in debt with, it's just that he's also doing another movie where he's actually playing himself, acting like to this like this drug overlord, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, like, I thought
that
he was
sounds
just
more like a
desperate.
passion project, honestly. I think that's something that he's been wanting to work on. If I don't know about anything about that, but that is interesting. I'm very interested to see that. I don't know, man. I think Nicolas Cage is finally ready to kind of go back out there. I hope that he's a little bit more responsible with his money now. You know, buy one castle, live there for a while, don't buy anything else, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, you know, I'm glad that he's debt free. I'm happy that he is, because it was kind of starting to drain a lot of the Nicolas Cage magic that we used to get.
Wait, he's magic?
Like the old...
Like, it used to be, whether a Nicolas Cage movie was bad or good, you were going to have a ball with it. Regardless. I mean, the only one that doesn't really do it that well, aside from like every single direct-to-DVD movie that he did, the only one that doesn't work as well is Sorcerer's Apprentice. Because he looks like he's drugged out of his mind half the time, and not the fun kind of drug. I mean, like, he's been put on antidepressants kind of drug. And that's the part that sucks.
Well, you know what shit does to you.
I know. But any more thoughts, comments, concerns on Nicolas Cage first look as Dracula in the Rinfield movie?
Well,
I believe you're wearing a wig.
Yes.
Yeah. As long as he's a beautiful man.
Joe, you've seen the picture.
Vampire. Yeah.
It's on Weekly Topics, my guy. Come on.
Oh, I did miss it.
Yeah, scroll up. And then, Jared, you can too if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Weekly Topics just so I can get like a photo of it.
Yeah, I
like,
posted a photo up there.
He looks like he'd be a Joker almost.
Yeah, with all that red, I agree. But while you guys are looking at that, I'm going to go ahead and start up to the next topic. Our next topic is Netflix has officially released the episode count for their live-action Avatar series, and we have our official number. It is 8 episodes. Now, before Joe goes on a tyrannical tirade and a big old temper tantrum, here's the thing I'm going to tell you, Joe. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you, Joe. Original creators and showrunners are coming back to do this. Put your mind at ease.
Still, the amount of episodes. Ugh,
8 episodes for... Okay, here's the thing. We don't know how long the episodes are going to be. They could be hour-and-a-half long episodes. Think about it. I mean, yeah, I know a lot happens in the first season, but honestly, not as much as you think. There's a lot of filler in the first season, if I want to be technical. Not that it's bad filler.
You're right.
Not that it's bad filler for those Avatar The Last Airbender fans. Not that it's bad filler. I think there's really good filler in that show. There's only a handful of episodes that I don't like in that show. And honestly, most of them are just nitpicky. Like, the only one I really don't like is the one where Aang lies. But that's it. You know, that's just kind of my thing.
I'll admit the truth to get through something.
Yeah, but, you know, I personally think, again, Netflix is grasping at straws. I think with the original showrunners and creators coming back, that this show is going to be good. Yes. Do I think it's going to be as good as the original? No. I think it's going to be at least on par. Now, granted, I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I haven't seen anything aside from concept art and a few casting. That's it. Now we have an episode count. So that means that they probably have the full cast. We just don't know who they are yet. All right. Jared, you got any thoughts, comments, concerns on this?
Not any, unfortunately, no.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and go into our next topic then. Going from one Avatar to another, from Last Airbender to Blue Rabbits fucking, we may be getting our Avatar 2's trailer coming in front of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'll believe it when I see it. I still do not think this movie is coming out. I genuinely do not. And it's not even really denial. It's just more like, this thing has been pushed back for almost 14 years. Really think about that. Like, yeah, or 13 years. Yeah. Like, really think about that. And they're planning on doing, apparently 2 and 3 were shot back to back, and then they have a plan to do 4 and 5 back to back for a solid year, and then we're gonna get 4 at the year after 3. Like, after this sequel, we're gonna be getting, next year we're gonna be supposed to be getting Avatar 3, then Avatar 4, then Avatar 5. And I'm like, here's the thing. I don't think that's gonna happen, because I don't think Avatar 2 is gonna do as well. Remember that we were supposed to get an Independence Day trilogy? Independence Day 2 was shit. It did shit. We are not getting an Independence Day 3. I'm sorry. But, you know, that's just kind of my whole thought process is, here's the thing. We're talking about, when we talk about Avatar, we're talking about the highest grossing film of all time. Still is, by the way. It beat Avengers Endgame with a re-release in China. Nobody talks about it anymore. Like, nobody talks, like, you think about it. Titanic was the original highest grossing film of all time. People still talk about Titanic. Nobody really talks about Avatar anymore. And mostly because I think everybody has realized that the story is terrible. But the effects are still, like, here's the thing. I like talking about Avatar because it was my first experience in a theater where I genuinely thought, oh wow, this is how good movies can look. Like, that was when I really realized, like, how good of an experience a movie can be. Hence the reason I'm still an avid supporter of AMC, AMC movie theaters in general. I am an avid supporter. If there's a film that I really want to go see and I have nothing else to do, or if there's a film that I really want to go see, you bet your ass I'm going to attempt, mind you, and usually succeed to go see it in theaters. I supported the last thing I supported in theaters was The Batman. Before that, it was Scream. Before that, it was The Kingsman, and before that, it was Spider-Man: No Way Home. Those are some of, like, okay, Kingsman was a pretty quiet experience, but No Way Home was a fantastic experience. I saw it on Friday, the Friday that it came out. You want to talk about a great theater experience? That was a fantastic theater experience. So it just mostly comes down to Avatar is a great looking film. I still can watch it on mute and be okay with it. I hate the story. let me be very clear. I do not like this movie on anything other than a visual scale. A visual and a technical scale is where I draw the line on this movie.
I pretty much called it that, like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I pretty much called it that, like, even if the Avatar movies were, like, sequels would have come out, there would always more Star Wars Marvel content just to keep us occupied.
Honestly, Disney's kind of chilling on the Star Wars content in the big screen because of how bad Rise of Skywalker did. Rise of Skywalker did terrible, and Solo really did bad. Solo, like, ever since Rogue One, they've kind of dropped the ball a lot on a lot of theatrical Star Wars stuff. That's why I think they're mostly focusing on Disney Plus
and High Republic, but
well, yeah, and the games. But you know, like that's the biggest thing is I think Disney. Here's the thing with this, I think that they do have a chance. I just don't think James Cameron needed as much creative control on script writing as I think he has already got. Because if you think about it, James Cameron wanted to do Avatar in the 90s. But he decided to wait an additional 19 years to wait for technology to catch up to it, because he wanted it to be a visual spectacle. However, when he wrote said script stayed in the 90s. Like, really stayed in the 90s. Like, Avatar feels like a 90s script. It really does. And I'm talking like, you know, like, oh, save the forest, kind of like very eco-friendly. Nothing wrong with that. However, they bash you over the head with it, and it's very, you did this. I don't know how, but you did this. You know, it's very that vibe. And it's just, I don't know, man. Now, with this one being underwater, I have a feeling that we're probably going to be getting some oil spill stuff, all that fun jazz. I still think we're going to be getting some environmental messaging in this. Nothing wrong with that. You can do it relatively well. It's not that you can't. Yeah. There are plenty of films that have environmental messages that are still great. But when you make it like a Saturday morning cartoon, when you make it like Fern Gully,
I call it.
When you make a Fern Gully movie, nothing against Fern Gully. I actually thoroughly enjoy that movie. It's one of my favorites as a kid. As an adult, the messages are way too overt. They're not at all subtle. And nope. that's kind of the messaging of Avatar, is it's not subtle at all. And that is a problem.
Has a movie ever been subtle in these days.
Fair enough. But I genuinely think this has a potential, but I don't think it's going to reach it because of James Cameron. Not that James Cameron shouldn't be involved in this whatsoever. And that's okay, Miranda. It's I understand this month has been crazy. Not that James Cameron shouldn't be involved in this whatsoever. This is his baby. This is his franchise. I'm not saying he shouldn't be involved. I'm not even saying he shouldn't be directing. What I am saying is maybe have somebody else write the script. But they've already filmed Avatar 2 and 3, so we'll just have to see what we get. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to be getting this trailer in front of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
Look at like if we get anything at all.
True. Jared?
To be quite honest, my thought on whether or not it's coming out, probably no. My next question, is there an actual market for this movie?
That's kind of what I was getting at, is nobody really talks about this movie anymore, and that's the problem. But let us know what you guys think in the comments. And let's go ahead and go into our next topic. Our next topic is Bella Thorne has expressed interest in playing Lady Deadpool in Deadpool 3. Yeah, I'm definitely down for a Lady Deadpool. And Bella Thorne, I think, is a good enough choice. Now, do I think maybe Emma Stone would have been better? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Gwenpool. I think I'm just thinking Gwenpool. But Lady Deadpool, I think Bella Thorne is an okay choice. I still think Anna Kendrick would have been the better choice. But if Bella Thorne has interest in it, then I'm okay with that. she would have been my second choice. I genuinely think that, like, I do think that Anna Kendrick probably would have been closer to Ryan Reynolds, kind of like a Lady Deadpool. I think Anna Kendrick is more of the Lady Ryan Reynolds. I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Easy on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I don't know what kind of project she's been in, so I don't know.
Outside of Disney, she hasn't been doing much. So I think she is trying to get back into Hollywood. Nothing against that. And I think that this is a good way to definitely break in. But I don't know, man. I think... I don't know. I think if it's like a cameo, that could be a lot of fun. But I genuinely have no... I have no clue. How do you guys feel about it? About Bella Thorne possibly being Lady Deadpool? Deadpool 3.
I mean, back in the day, she always did like the dancing and the shake it up and
Shake it up
whatever
with
Disney.
Zendaya, exactly. Yes.
So maybe by like the physical, like the stunts and everything, maybe she might be able to pull that off. So it would fit that way. I don't know.
Yeah, but as it comes to like sense of humor and acting, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's where I kind of like,
not.
I don't know. Now, do I think that maybe Eliza Schlesinger would have been a really good choice? Yeah. She's a really good stand-up. I like a lot of her stand-up, and I think she would have been a fantastic choice. But Bella Thorne again is not bad. If you guys have seen Shake It Up, I mean, she was okay in it. I have nothing against her. You know, it's just kind of how it goes. But I don't know.
When it comes to comedy, ever since and after Disney with her and everything, it's kind of been a little, I want to say off, but kind of, you know.
I agree. According to Miranda, she has done really good non-Disney movies. Just a lot of indie projects, I guess is the best way to say it.
Miranda, right?
Yes, our Miranda.
Yeah.
She's currently in the comments right now. Hi, Miranda.
Where's she
She'd be
been?
joining us, but that's besides the point. Anyways, what do you guys think? I've already asked that, haven't I?
I probably need to see a movie she's in, and then I'll make my own judgment.
I think I would need to see how she would do in order to make my own judgment. And plus, I don't think it's going to be anything other than a cameo. Because, to answer your question, Miranda, Joe's fingers are so close to the camera because he's currently doing something else on his computer, and he has his phone to the side, right in front of his mouse.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyways, on to our next topic, and I know Miranda's going to be excited about it. Let's go ahead and go into it if you guys are ready.
Let's do it.
All right. Our next topic is Hogwarts Legacy has been officially confirmed for Nintendo Switch. And I know which platform I'm going to be getting Hogwarts Legacy on now. If I don't have a PS5 by then. But yeah, I genuinely...
It smells like you still can't get one.
I know. They're actually already... Sony has already said that they're just going to be releasing new PS4s. Like upgraded PS4s. And that's fine by me. I'm okay with that because I think as long as you upgrade it, I think an upgraded, like having a PS4 with an SSD, I think that's not a bad idea. But there is a chip shortage, so I think they're just going to be releasing some last minute PS4 Pros, and I'm okay with that. I've been meaning to get a PS4 Pro anyways. If I do end up getting it, am I going to put an SSD in it? You bet your ass. But I don't know. And I do agree with Miranda. She says she is just super excited about the game in general. I, too, am super excited about the game in general. It is an RPG Hogwarts game, and it does not take place during or after Harry Potter's Legacy, but it is taking place hundreds of years before. We're talking about probably the 1800s, if I'm not mistaken. Miranda would probably know. But I'm super interested in this game because the progression system seems interesting. And you can also go, it gives you a choice. Like there's a lot of choices in this, and you can either go dark or you can go light. And I'm super interested in that because that could definitely do a lot of replay value. And yeah, I'm super interested in this just because to be fair, we haven't really gotten a good Harry Potter game since Chamber of Secrets. Minus the Lego
It has
games.
cookies.
Minus the Lego games. Minus the Lego games. Everybody freaks out whenever I don't mention Lego games anymore. But
Yeah,
I do
Christian,
think.
what the fuck?
Shut the fuck up, Joe. Anyways, or as we're gonna start calling him Blurry.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Technically I'm Sir Blurry. Thank you very fucking much.
Okay, so Miss Blurry over here. Anyways.
Bitch.
But yeah, no, I think this game could be a lot of fun just because it'd be interesting to see something that doesn't revolve around Harry Potter but is in the Harry Potter universe. And I mean, this is before McGonagall, this is before Dumbledore, this is before a lot of, like, these are all new characters. It's even before Newt Scamander. Though granted, I wouldn't be surprised if Newt Scamander's like a student at this point or something like that. I don't know, to be perfectly honest.
Being a little baby-faced boy.
Yeah. So I think we might have Nicholas Flamel in this. I don't know. That might be the only, like, returning character. So I genuinely think that this game is going to be a lot of fun, but we'll have to see. I've seen some gameplay and it looks like fun, but there's a difference between how they do their gameplay and how it ends up actually being. But what are your guys' thoughts on it being confirmed? Really not necessarily for it being confirmed for Nintendo Switch. I know we've talked about it, or at least brought it up, but that's true. It might be while Dumbledore is a student. I don't know currently. But just more like, whatever your guys' thoughts on this game necessarily.
I don't know. Kind of been a little low-key about Harry Potter games for a bit.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm a little curious because I mean, the last Harry Potter game I've ever seen made was like a mobile game that like sucked ass.
Oh, the one that was basically a Pokemon Go ripoff? Yeah.
Yeah, my expectations on anything licensed or what or not, like, well,
Yeah. No, I agree. Jared?
this is not me saying prophesizing the game will come out and suck ass, but just keep your expectations. Like,
No, I'm not going to have
realistic.
my expectations super high. But Jared, do you have any thoughts on this?
For me, I'll be honest. I'm very partial to RPGs. So if they wind up doing a good job with this, like I might wind up being over it. I have no clue. But what intrigues me is just that, you know, like you said, with it being in the 1800s, it's brand new setting, brand new characters, brand new fleshing of the story in the world, which will make things very interesting, you know?
No, I agree 100%. All right. Well, since I have work early tomorrow morning, I am not going to continue this any longer. Thank you once again for my other viewer, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in on the Snodacast. I apologize for any technical difficulties that took us an hour to figure out, but now I know what to do next time. So if in case this does happen next time, it will probably only be a 5-minute fix. And once again, I have been your host, BlackShat56. This has been the Snodacast, episode 13. I have been joined by... Oh, right, Joe's still here. And of course, the one, the only Red King, aka Jared.
Hail to the king.
Hail to the king, baby. Hail to the king. Once again, I've been BlackShat56, and I will see you all